there's something that the richest men in history did that you've probably never stopped to think about. I'm not talking about luck. I'm not talking about inheritance. I'm not talking about a miracle that fell from the sky. I'm talking about concrete actions, specific thoughts, a way of seeing life that transformed ordinary people into benchmarks of prosperity. And the most interesting thing is that these same actions are available to you right now, at this very moment. When you look at the stories of the most prosperous men who ever lived, you notice a pattern. It's not coincidence. It's not chance. It's a set of mental choices that these people made and that shaped the entire reality around them. And the good news is that you can do exactly the same thing. But before continuing, I need you to understand a fundamental truth. Wealth is not something that happens to you. Wealth is something you build within your mind first. Most people live in fear of not having enough. They wake up thinking about bills, go to sleep worried about debt, and spend the whole day mentally repeating that money is hard to come by, that life is tough, that only others manage to prosper. This kind of thinking is like planting seeds of poverty every day. And then you wonder why you only reap scarcity. The truth is that your mind is programmed to create exactly what you feed it. If you feed thoughts of lack, your life will reflect lack. If you feed thoughts of abundance, your life begins to reorganize itself to bring abundance. The richest men in history understood this before anything else. They didn't wait to have money to start thinking like the rich. They started thinking like the rich long before they had a single penny in their pockets. And it was precisely this mindset that opened the doors for wealth to enter their lives. This isn't theory. This isn't cheap philosophy. This is a principle that has worked for thousands of years and continues to work today. Before we begin with the lessons, make sure you've subscribed to the channel. But only do this if you want to see a lot of money in your bank account. If possible, write this in the comments. I am ready to prosper. This isn't just a phrase. It's a declaration you're making to yourself and the universe around you. It's you saying you're available to receive. And believe me, this mental availability makes all the difference. Now let's get straight to the point. The first thing the richest men did was change the way they viewed money. For most people, money is a problem. It's something that causes stress, worry, anxiety. But for those who prosper, money is a tool. It's a resource. It's something that flows naturally when you're aligned with the right mindset. Think about it for a moment. Do you treat money as a friend or as an enemy? Do you speak well of it, or do you constantly complain that it doesn't arrive, that it's lacking, that it's never enough? The words that come out of your mouth have enormous power over your reality. When you say that money is hard to come by, you are programming your mind to find difficulty in every financial opportunity. When you say you don't have money, you are reinforcing this scarcity mindset. Prosperous men learned to talk about money in a completely different way. They said things like, "Money comes to me easily. I have everything I need. I am capable of prospering." And the more they said this, the more their minds began to believe it, and the more their reality transformed. This may seem too simple to be true, but its simplicity doesn't diminish its power. In fact, it's precisely because it's simple that it works. You don't need complicated formulas. You need consistency. You need to repeat the right thoughts until they become automatic. Until you no longer need to force yourself to think about abundance, because it's already natural to you. Another thing wealthy men did was cultivate a clear vision of what they wanted. They didn't live in survival mode, thinking only about what they needed to get through the day. They had a mental image of the future they wanted to create. And that image wasn't vague, it was specific, it was vivid. It was real in their minds, before it was real in their lives. And here's the secret. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something you intensely imagine and something you actually experience. When you visualize your abundant life every day, your mind starts working to transform that vision into reality. But listen, I'm not talking about lying around daydreaming. I'm talking about creating a mental image so strong, so clear, that it guides your decisions, your attitudes, your choices. When you know exactly what kind of life you want, You stop accepting just anything. You stop settling for less. You start moving in the direction of what you truly desire. Think of someone who wants to lose weight, but constantly sees themselves as overweight. Every time this person looks in the mirror, they reinforce the image of someone who is overweight. And their mind continues to create behaviors that maintain that weight. Now imagine someone who sees themselves thin, healthy, and strong every day. Even if their body isn't there yet, their mind already is. And little by little, their choices change, their habits change, and their body begins to follow the mental image. It's the same with money. If you see yourself as poor, you will remain poor. If you see yourself as prosperous, your mind will begin to create the paths to prosperity. The wealthiest men also understood that gratitude is one of the most powerful forces for attracting more wealth. And this is where many people go wrong. People think they should only be grateful when they have a lot. But the truth is the opposite. You need to be grateful for what you already have, even if it's little, to make room to receive more. Gratitude changes your mental frequency. It takes you out of a state of scarcity and puts you in a state of abundance. When you are grateful for the money you already have, however small it may be, you are telling your mind, I recognize the value of this. I know I have enough now, and I am ready to receive more. But when you constantly complain about how little you have, you are saying, this is not enough. I have nothing. I am needy. And the mind understands this as an order to continue keeping you in this state of lack. Try doing this now. Pause for a moment and think of 3 things related to money that you can be grateful for today. It could be having a roof over your head. It could be having food on the table. It could be having the health to work. The size of the gratitude doesn't matter. What matters is the genuine feeling of appreciation. Do this every day, in the morning when you wake up and at night before going to sleep. And observe how your relationship with money begins to change. Now let's talk about something that bothers a lot of people but needs to be said. Wealthy men had a characteristic that most people don't have. They weren't afraid to want more. They didn't feel guilty for wanting to prosper. They didn't think that desiring wealth was wrong, selfish, or sinful. They understood that prosperity is a right of anyone who is willing to align their mind with it. Many people grew up hearing that money is dirty, that rich people are thieves, that poor people are honest, and rich people are corrupt. And these beliefs become buried in the subconscious, sabotaging any attempt to prosper. You may even say you want to get rich, but if deep down you believe that money is something bad, your mind will work against you. It will sabotage opportunities, make you make decisions that push money away, and keep you stuck exactly where you are. So here's a powerful exercise. Take a piece of paper or visualize it right now and answer honestly. What do you really believe about money? Do you think money corrupts people? Do you think that to get rich, you have to step over others? Do you think that people who have money lack character? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you've just discovered a belief that's preventing you from prospering. And now that you know, you can start to change it. Start replacing those beliefs with others that are more aligned with the truth. Money is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It simply amplifies who you already are. If you are a good person, money will allow you to do more good things. If you are a bad person, money will amplify that too. But money itself has no character. It's a tool, and you can use that tool to create the life you want, to help those you love, to have freedom, to live with dignity. Another striking characteristic of successful men was their ability to act even when afraid. They felt fear, yes. They had doubts, yes. But they didn't let fear paralyze their actions. They understood that fear is part of the process, but that action is what transforms reality. You can have all the positive thoughts in the world, but if you don't act, nothing will change. And here's the point. Action doesn't necessarily mean doing huge things. Action can be something simple. It can be deciding to learn something new. It can be starting to save a small amount every month. It can be changing the way you talk about money. It can be distancing yourself from people who constantly complain about life and getting closer to people who are growing. Small, consistent actions create big results over time. Wealthy men also possess something most people lack: intelligent patience. They knew wealth doesn't happen overnight, but they didn't use that as an excuse not to begin. They planted the right seeds and nurtured them daily, knowing the harvest would come in due time. They didn't become anxious, they didn't despair, and they didn't give up at the first sign of difficulty. Most people want immediate results. They want to start today and get rich tomorrow. And when that doesn't happen, they give up and revert to a scarcity mindset. But those who truly prosper understand that each day of correct thinking, each day of aligned action, each day of gratitude and visualization is a brick in the construction of wealth. It may seem like nothing is happening, but deep down, everything is falling into place. Life is conspiring in your favor, but you need to stay strong. Think of a tree. When you plant a seed, it doesn't become a tree the next day. It stays underground for a while, invisible, as if nothing is happening. But down there, the roots are growing, strengthening, preparing to support everything that is to come. And then, suddenly, the tree begins to appear. And the more time passes, the bigger and stronger it becomes. It's the same with wealth. You are planting now, even if you don't yet see the fruits. Keep watering your mind with the right thoughts. Keep acting, keep believing, and in due time, you will reap the harvest. Now I want you to do something. Take your phone, open your notepad, or even just grab a piece of paper and write a powerful affirmation about your financial life. Something like, I attract money easily, or I am a prosperous and abundant person, or money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. Write the affirmation that resonates most with you. And from today onwards, repeat this affirmation every day, in the morning when you wake up and at night before you go to sleep. Say it aloud. Feel the truth of these words. And watch your mind begin to change. This practice may seem silly to those who have never done it, but it is one of the most powerful tools that exists. When you repeat an affirmation every day, you are reprogramming your subconscious. You are replacing old beliefs of scarcity with new beliefs of abundance. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes to think about wealth. There comes a point where you don't even need to make an effort anymore. The thought of prosperity becomes automatic. Wealthy men were also extremely careful about who they allowed around them. They knew that the people around them directly influenced their mindset. If you associate with people who complain all the time, who constantly say that life is hard, that money is impossible, that only others succeed, you will end up absorbing that energy. But if you associate with people who are growing, who have goals, who talk about possibilities, you will naturally begin to elevate your mindset as well. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Observe how they talk about money, about work, about life. Are these people pulling you up or pulling you down? Are they inspiring you to grow or keeping you in the comfort zone of mediocrity? This is a difficult question, but it's necessary. And if you realize you're surrounded by people with a scarcity mindset, it doesn't mean you need to abandon everyone. But it does mean you need to start seeking new connections, new environments, new conversations that nurture the mindset you want to have. Join groups, communities, channels, and profiles that talk about growth, mindset, and prosperity. Consume content that elevates your mind. Stop spending hours watching things that add nothing and start investing your time in things that transform your way of thinking. Remember, you become what you consume. If you consume scarcity, you live in scarcity. If you consume abundance, you begin to live in abundance. Another fundamental point that prosperous men practiced was mental discipline. They didn't let just any thought enter their minds. They were vigilant. They knew that a negative thought can turn into a belief, and a belief can turn into a reality, so they cut the negative thought off at the root. When a thought of fear, doubt, or lack arose, they immediately replaced it with a thought of faith, certainty, and abundance. You need to do the same. Every time you catch your mind thinking about scarcity, stop and correct it. Don't let that thought grow. Don't feed it. Immediately replace it with a better thought. It seems like hard work at first, but over time it becomes automatic. And when it becomes automatic, your life changes completely. Let me give you a practical example. You look at your bank account and see that you have little money. The automatic thought is, I have no money. My life is difficult. I'll never get out of this. That's scarcity thinking. Now observe what happens when you change it. I have this amount now, and more is coming. I am in the process of building my wealth. I am grateful for what I have, and I am open to receiving more. Do you feel the difference? The second thought doesn't deny reality, but puts you in a position of power. It puts you in control, and that makes all the difference. Wealthy men also had a habit of celebrating small victories. They didn't wait to become millionaires to celebrate. They celebrated every progress, every advance, every improvement. And do you know why? Because celebrating sends a powerful message to the mind. I am winning, I am progressing, I am on the right track. And the more you celebrate, the more your mind wants to create new reasons to celebrate. So don't wait to have $1 million in your account to feel victorious. Celebrate when you manage to save 10 reais. Celebrate when you refuse an impulsive purchase. Celebrate when you learn something new about money. Celebrate every step. This isn't being complacent. This is recognizing progress. And celebrated progress multiplies. There is something else that needs to be said. Prosperous men did not have an unhealthy attachment to money. They knew that money needs to circulate. They didn't hoard out of fear of losing it. They invested. They spent wisely. They gave. They understood that holding on to money out of fear is a sign of scarcity, and letting money flow with confidence is a sign of abundance. This doesn't mean spending everything you have. It means having a healthy relationship with money. It means saving, yes, investing, yes, but without desperation, without fear, without attachment. When you trust that more money can always come, you don't cling to what you have in an unhealthy way. You use money to your advantage. You make it work for you. And here's a truth that many people don't want to hear. You will never attract more than you believe you deserve. If deep down you believe you don't deserve to be rich, that you're not capable, that you're not up to the task, your mind will sabotage any opportunity for prosperity. So you need to work on your financial self-esteem. You need to start believing truly that you are worthy of wealth, that you deserve to live well, that you are capable of prospering. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I deserve to be rich. I am worthy of abundance. I am capable of creating wealth. Say this until you believe it, because when you truly believe it, reality begins to rearrange itself to prove you right. Now, before we continue, I want you to do something with me. Say it out loud now. I am ready to receive wealth. I deserve to prosper. I am abundant. Don't be ashamed. No one is listening but you. And you need to hear your own voice declaring these truths. This creates a commitment. This creates an identity. And identity is everything. The richest men in history didn't get rich by accident. They weren't lucky. They cultivated a specific mindset, repeated specific thoughts, took specific actions. And over time, wealth was the natural result of it all. And you can do exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter how much money you have now. What matters is the mindset you're cultivating today. If you want different results, you need different thoughts. If you want a different life, you need a different mind. And changing your mind isn't complicated. It's simple, but it requires consistency. It requires repetition. It requires you to practice every day until these new thoughts become second nature. So from now on, you're going to do the following. Every day, when you wake up, before picking up your phone, before doing anything else, you're going to close your eyes and visualize your abundant life. You're going to see yourself living the life you desire. You're going to feel what it's like to have enough money, what it's like to have financial freedom, what it's like to have peace regarding money. You're going to do this for at least 5 minutes. And at night, before going to sleep, you're going to do the same. You're going to review your day with gratitude. You're going to be thankful for what you have. And you're going to fall asleep with thoughts of abundance. Do this for 30 consecutive days. Don't skip a single day. And observe what happens. Observe how your mind changes. Observe how your attitudes change. Observe how opportunities begin to appear. This isn't magic. It's mind science. It's reprogramming. And it works for anyone willing to practice. Wealthy men understood that the mind is the most powerful tool that exists. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They didn't wait to have money to start thinking like the rich. They started from where they were, with what they had, and built brick by brick, thought by thought, day after day. And in the end, wealth was inevitable. And you can do the same. You can start now. You can make the decision that from today onward, your mind will work in favor of wealth, not against it. You can choose thoughts of abundance. You can choose words of prosperity. You can choose actions aligned with the life you desire. And when you make these choices consistently, wealth ceases to be a distant dream and becomes an inevitable reality. I'm not saying it will be easy. I'm not saying there won't be challenges, but I am saying it's possible. And I'm saying it's worth it. Because a life lived with an abundance mindset is a completely different life from a life lived with a scarcity mindset. It's a life with more peace, more joy, more freedom, more possibilities. So decide now. Will you continue living with a small mind, accepting crumbs, settling for little? Or will you expand your mind, make room for richness, and begin building the life you truly desire? The choice is yours, and it begins now, with the next thought you choose to have. Now that you understand that wealth begins in the mind, let's delve even deeper, because knowing something is one thing, but practicing it until it becomes part of who you are is quite another. And that's exactly what separates those who become rich from those who continue only dreaming of wealth. The difference lies in repetition, in persistence, in the ability to continue even when results haven't yet appeared. The most prosperous men in history had something that might seem strange to many. They talked to money. Not in a crazy way, but consciously. They treated money as something alive, as something that responds to the energy you emit. And the truth is that money really does respond. It goes where it is well received, where it is respected, where it is valued, and it flees from where it is mistreated, despised, or feared. Think about how you treat the money you have now. When you receive a paycheck, what is your first thought? Is it joy and gratitude, or is it worry because you already know it will barely cover the bills? When you spend money, do you spend lightly knowing that more will come? Or do you spend with a heavy heart and guilt thinking you are losing something precious? The way you relate to money today is creating the financial reality of tomorrow. Start speaking positively about money. When you receive any amount, even a small one, be grateful. Say aloud or mentally, "Thank you for this money, welcome, and bring more." When you spend, don't spend with regret. Spend with the awareness that you are making money circulate and that it will return multiplied. This change in attitude may seem small, but it completely transforms the energy you emit in relation to money. I'm going to tell you something you may never have thought about. Most people repel money without even realizing it. They say things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees, money is hard to get, rich people only think about money, money ruins friendships, money changes people." And each of these phrases is a declaration of repulsion. It's as if you were saying to money, "Don't come near me. You're a problem. I don't want you." Now imagine if you started saying, "Money comes to me easily. I love money and money loves me. Money is a blessing in my life. The more money I have, the more good I can do." Do you feel the difference? One phrase attracts, the other repels. And which one have you been doing your whole life? Wealthy men weren't ashamed to admit they loved money. They didn't pretend money didn't matter. They knew money was important because it was freedom, security, and possibility. And they honored that. They treated money with respect, and money reciprocated by coming in abundance. So here's another powerful exercise for you to do. Take a banknote, any denomination, and hold it in your hand. Look at it and say, "I respect you, I value you, I thank you. You are welcome in my life, and bring more." Do this sincerely. It may seem strange at first, but you are reprogramming the way your subconscious mind sees money. And when the subconscious changes, reality changes along with it. Another practice that prosperous men had was detailed visualization. They didn't just visualize haphazardly. They created mental images so real, so vivid, that the mind couldn't differentiate them from reality. And when the mind believes something is real, it begins to work to transform it into physical reality. So let's do an exercise now. Close your eyes for a moment, or continue listening. But imagine with me. Visualize yourself entering the bank and looking at your account balance. See the amount you want to see there. Don't be afraid to put a large number. See that number on the screen. Feel the emotion of seeing that amount. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of accomplishment. Now visualize yourself using that money. See yourself paying your bills with ease. See yourself buying something you've always wanted. See yourself helping someone you love. The more details you put into this visualization, the more powerful it is. Do this exercise every day. And don't do it mechanically. Do it with real feeling. Because what drives the creation of reality is not just thought, it's feeling along with thought. When you think and feel at the same time, you are sending a very strong signal to the universe around you and to your own mind that it is already yours. Wealthy men also had a characteristic that bothers many people. They didn't compare themselves to anyone. They didn't waste time looking to the side with envy, anger, or jealousy. They knew that another person's prosperity doesn't diminish their own. They knew there is enough abundance for everyone. And that's why they celebrated the success of others, because they knew that if it's possible for one, it's possible for all. When you see someone prosperous and feel envious, you're telling your mind, I don't have it, and that's unfair. And your mind will continue creating the reality of not having it. But when you see someone prosperous and think, that's great, if they succeeded, I can too, you're saying, this is possible, and I will get there too. And your mind starts creating the paths for you to get there. So the next time you see someone with money, success, and prosperity, instead of feeling envious, feel joy. Thank that person for showing you that it's possible, and declare to yourself, what is possible for them is possible for me. I too will prosper. This change in attitude will completely transform your energy. Now let's talk about something very practical that rich men did, and that you can start today. They took care of the money they had, no matter how little it was. They didn't waste it. They didn't throw money away. They weren't careless. Because they understood a fundamental principle. Those who don't take care of the little they have won't receive the much. If you want the universe to send you more money, show that you know how to manage the money you already have. Organize your finances. Know exactly how much you earn, how much you spend, and where your money is going. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a simple spreadsheet, a notebook, or an app. What matters is that you are in control. When you don't know where your money is going, you're saying, I don't care, I don't value it, it can go, and the money will go away. But when you take care of it, when you keep track of it, when you respect every penny, you're saying, I value you, I take care of you, I want more from you. And more comes. Prosperous men also had the habit of always saving a portion of what they earned. It didn't matter how much it was. They set aside a percentage and put it aside. And do you know why? Because this creates an abundance mindset. When you save, you are saying, I have more than I need. I have enough to save. And the mind understands this as abundance. Even if you earn little now, start saving something. It could be 5%, it could be 10%, it could be whatever amount fits your current situation. The important thing is not the amount, it's the habit, it's the mindset. It's you telling yourself, I am the type of person who saves, I am the type of person who prepares for the future, I am the type of person who has money saved. And when you see yourself that way, you start acting that way, and reality begins to reflect it. There's a truth that needs to be said here. And maybe you won't like to hear it, but it's necessary. You can't expect to get rich if you keep doing the same things that keep you poor. You can't expect different results if you continue with the same habits. If you spend everything you earn, if you don't save anything, if you buy impulsively, if you don't educate yourself financially, you'll stay exactly where you are. Wealthy men change their habits. They stopped doing what didn't work and started doing what does. And that takes courage. It requires you to look in the mirror and admit, I've been making the wrong choices, and now I'm going to make different choices. It's not about guilt. It's about responsibility. It's about taking control of your financial life. So make a list now, mentally or on paper. What habits do you have that are keeping you poor? Spending on unnecessary things, not saving anything, complaining about money, not seeking knowledge. Listing these habits is the first step to changing them. And from today, you will choose one habit to change. Just one. Don't try to change everything at once because you will overwhelm yourself. Choose one habit, change it. And when that one becomes natural, choose the next. Successful men also understood the power of words. They knew that words create reality. So they were extremely careful about what they said. They didn't say, I'm broke. They said, I'm reorganizing my finances. They didn't say, I don't have money. They said, the money is coming. They didn't say, I'll never make it. They said, I'm in the process of achieving it. See the difference? Words don't deny reality, but they also don't reinforce scarcity. They put you in a position of movement, of progress, of positive expectation, and that changes everything. So from now on, pay attention to what you say about money. Correct your words. Speak like someone who is thriving, not like someone who is sinking. Here's another thing rich men did. They educated themselves. They read, studied, and learned. They didn't think they already knew everything. They were always seeking knowledge, always wanting to understand more about money, about the mind, about prosperity. And the more they learned, the more they grew. You don't need to take an expensive course. You don't need a degree. But you do need to seek knowledge. Watch videos like this one. Read books. Listen to people who understand prosperity. Fill your mind with information that uplifts you, that teaches you, that transforms you. Because knowledge is power. And the more you know, the more you can create. There's something that prosperous men did that was incredibly powerful. They acted as if they were already rich, even before they had money. I'm not talking about pretending, showing off, or spending what you don't have. I'm talking about adopting the mindset of someone who prospers. They made decisions like someone rich would make. They spoke like someone rich would speak. They thought like someone rich would think. And here's the secret. When you act as if you already are, you become. Because the mind doesn't know the difference between reality and intense imagination. When you act like you're prosperous, you start to feel prosperous. And when you feel prosperous, you make prosperous decisions. And when you make prosperous decisions, you create prosperous results. It's a cycle, so try it. How would a prosperous person react in this situation? How would a prosperous person talk about money? How would a prosperous person treat the money they have? Start acting like that. And watch how your reality begins to change. Wealthy men also possessed unwavering faith. I'm not necessarily talking about religious faith, although that might be included. I'm talking about faith in their ability to prosper. They believed, even when there was no evidence. They trusted, even when everything seemed impossible. They knew that if they maintained the right thoughts and the right actions, the result would come. And this faith is not blind. It's a faith based on principle. It's knowing that thoughts create reality. It's knowing that action generates results. It's knowing that persistence overcomes resistance. And when you have this faith, you don't give up. You continue day after day, even when nothing seems to be changing. Because you know that deep down, everything is falling into place. Now I want you to write in the comments, I have faith in my prosperity. This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration. It's you telling yourself and the world that you believe in your potential to prosper. And when you declare this publicly, you create an even greater commitment. There's something many people don't talk about, but it's fundamental. Rich men forgave. They forgave the people who had wronged them. They forgave themselves for past mistakes. They didn't carry grudges, anger, or resentment, because they knew that these heavy emotions block prosperity. When you hold on to anger towards someone who owes you money, you are maintaining an energy of lack. When you blame yourself for having lost money in the past, you are trapped in an energy of wrongdoing. And as long as you are trapped in these energies, prosperity cannot flow. So forgive. Forgive those who owe you. Forgive those who have wronged you. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. And free yourself. Because emotional freedom creates space for abundance to enter. Prosperous men also celebrated the wealth of others. When they saw someone buying something expensive, they thought, "How wonderful that this person can afford it, and so can I." When they saw someone successful, they were inspired, not belittled. They understood that the prosperity of others is proof that abundance exists, and that they too can access that abundance. So the next time you feel envious, stop, breathe, and change your thinking. Be grateful for the proof that it's possible to prosper, and declare that you too will get there. This mental shift will open doors you never imagined. Now let's talk about something very important. Rich men didn't wait for perfect conditions to begin. They started where they were, with what they had. They didn't wait to have more time, more money, more knowledge. They took the first step with what they had now, and along the way, the rest followed. Most people wait for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, the ideal scenario. And while they wait, life passes by, and nothing changes. But those who prosper understand that the right moment is now. The time to change your mindset is now. The time to start saving, even a little, is now. The time to educate yourself is now. Don't wait. Start. Successful men also had something very important. They were grateful for the process, not just the result. They didn't live frustrated because they hadn't yet reached where they wanted to be. They were grateful for being on the path, for learning, for growing, and this gratitude for the process made the journey lighter, more enjoyable, more pleasurable. You don't need to wait to get rich to be happy. You can be happy now while you're building your wealth. You can be grateful now for what you already have and for what's to come. Because happiness isn't in the destination, it's in the journey. And when you're happy on the journey, you attract more good things to yourself. There's a powerful practice that wealthy men used to do, and you can start now. They wrote. They wrote about their goals, their victories, what they were learning. And writing has incredible power. Because when you write, you take the thought out of your head and put it on paper. And that makes everything more concrete, more real, more tangible. So grab a notebook, it can be simple, and start writing. Write down your financial goals. Write down how you want your life to be in a year, in 5 years. Write down at least one thing you are grateful for every day. Write down your affirmations. This simple habit will transform your mindset in ways you can't even imagine. Prosperous men also understood that money is energy. And like all energy, it responds to the frequency you emit. If you are on the frequency of fear, lack, and worry, you attract more situations that generate fear, lack, and worry. But if you are on the frequency of confidence, abundance, and joy, you attract situations that generate confidence, abundance, and joy. So, observe your frequency. How are you feeling about money right now? Are you tense, worried, anxious, or are you confident, calm, grateful? If you notice you're at a low frequency, do something to change it. Listen to music that cheers you up. Watch something that inspires you. Take a walk. Breathe deeply. Raise your energy, because when you raise your energy, you raise your ability to attract good things. There's something rich men did that might sound strange, but it's powerful. They treated every penny as if it were important. They didn't despise small amounts. They didn't throw coins away. They knew that those who respect the little receive much. So if you find a coin on the ground, pick it up. Be grateful. Treat it with care. Because you are showing the universe that you value money in any form. Prosperous men didn't complain either. They didn't constantly say that life was unfair, that everything was difficult, that nothing worked out. Because they knew that complaining is a declaration of powerlessness. It's saying, I have no control. I'm a victim. I can't do anything. And when you put yourself in that position, you really can't do anything. But when you stop complaining and start looking for solutions, you regain power. So monitor your words. How many times a day do you complain? How many times do you speak ill of life, work, money? Each complaint is a brick in the construction of your reality of scarcity. And each positive statement is a brick in the construction of your reality of abundance. Choose which reality you want to build. Wealthy men had something most people don't. They were patient, but not passive. They knew things take time, but they didn't sit idly by waiting. They planted, watered, cared for, and awaited the harvest with active patience. They did their part every day and trusted that the universe would do its part in due time. You need to have that same attitude. Do your part. Change your thoughts, change your words, change your actions, and trust the process. Don't be anxious. Don't be desperate. Stay firm, stay consistent, and the result will come. It may not be when you want it, but it will be at the right time. Now I want to talk about something that many people ignore: the importance of rest. Prosperous men knew that resting is not wasting time. It's recharging your energy. It's giving space for the mind to process, for ideas to emerge, for creativity to flow. They didn't live in survival mode, without stopping, without breathing. They balanced action with rest. If you are exhausted, stressed, and lacking energy, your mind cannot create abundance. It gets stuck in fight or flight mode, simply trying to survive. So take care of yourself. Sleep well. Rest. Do things that bring you pleasure. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And when you are well, you attract good things. Wealthy men also had a long-term vision. They didn't just think about next month, they thought about the coming years, the coming decades. They planted seeds today knowing that the tree would only bear fruit years from now. And they were okay with that. Because they understood that real wealth isn't built overnight. It's built with patience, persistence, and vision. So think about the long term. Where do you want to be in 10 years? What kind of life do you want to have? How much money do you want to have accumulated? Visualize it, and start making decisions today that will take you there. Every little choice counts. Every small step matters. Successful men also knew how to say no. They didn't say yes to everything. They didn't spend money on everything that came along. They didn't accept just any offer. They had criteria. They knew that saying no to what is useless is saying yes to what really matters. And that is fundamental. How many times do you spend money on things you didn't really want just because someone offered them, or because they were on sale, or because everyone else was buying them? Every time you do that, you're wasting your power of choice. You're letting the world decide for you. But when you say no, when you consciously choose, you reclaim the power. And power is essential for creating wealth. Now let's do a final exercise. I want you to close your eyes and imagine your life 5 years from now, living in total abundance. Visualize your house, your car, your bank account, your routine, the people around you. See everything in as much detail as possible. And above all, feel what it's like to live that life. Feel the peace, the joy, the freedom. Let that feeling fill you completely. Now open your eyes. That feeling you just experienced? You can carry it with you every day. You don't need to wait 5 years to feel prosperous. You can feel prosperous now. And when you feel prosperous now, you act prosperously now, and you create prosperity now. The richest men in history were no different from you. They didn't have special powers. They weren't born lucky. They simply chose to cultivate an abundance mindset and repeated that choice every day until it became second nature. And you can do exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter how many years you've lived in scarcity. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried and failed. It doesn't matter how much money you have now. What matters is the decision you make today. The decision to change your mind, to change your words, to change your actions. And when you truly make that decision and act on it every day, wealth becomes inevitable. So I challenge you. Starting today, commit to your prosperity. Commit to thinking like a rich person, speaking like a rich person, acting like a rich person. Make your affirmations every day. Visualize your abundant life every day. Be grateful every day. Take care of your money every day. And don't give up, no matter what happens, because you deserve to prosper. You are worthy of wealth. You are capable of creating abundance. And it all starts with the decision you make now, with the thought you choose to have now, with the word you choose to speak now. The power is within you. It always has been. And now you know how to use it. So go ahead. Apply everything you've learned here. Practice every day. And watch your life transform. Watch the money start flowing. Watch the opportunities appear. Watch yourself becoming the prosperous person you were always meant to be. And remember, the richest men did these things, and you can do the same. The choice is yours. The power is yours. And the time is now. You've come this far because something inside you knows there's more. There's a better life waiting for you. There's a version of you that's already prosperous, that already lives in abundance, that already has everything you need. And that version isn't far away. It's here, now, just waiting for you to become it through your thoughts and your choices. The richest men in history understood something most people never do. Wealth is not a destination. It's a state of being. It's not something you achieve and that's it. It's something you become. It's an identity. And when you change your identity, when you truly see yourself as a prosperous person, everything around you begins to rearrange itself to confirm that new identity. Think about who you are now. When someone asks you who you are, what do you answer? Do you describe yourself by your difficulties, your problems, your shortcomings? Or do you describe yourself by your possibilities, your talents, your capacity to grow? The way you define yourself is the way you limit or expand yourself. And it's time to choose a new definition. From now on, you are no longer someone who struggles with money. You are someone who attracts money. You are no longer someone who never has enough. You are someone who always has more than they need. You are no longer someone who envies the rich. You are someone who is becoming rich. This identity shift is the most powerful change you can make. Prosperous men lived from this renewed identity. They woke up every day knowing who they were. They didn't need external confirmation. They didn't need anyone to validate their prosperity. They knew it within themselves, and that was enough. And when you know who you are, the world around you has no choice but to reflect that back to you. Now I want you to do something important. Take your phone or a piece of paper and write this sentence. I am a prosperous person, and money flows to me naturally. Write this down and put it somewhere you see it every day. On your closet door, on the bathroom mirror, on your phone screen. And every time you see it, read it aloud. Let these words sink in. Let them reprogram your mind. There's something that rich men did that might seem too simple, but it's extremely powerful. They expected good things. They woke up expecting something good to happen that day. They didn't live defensively, expecting problems. They lived in positive expectation, knowing that good things were coming. And you know what happens when you expect good things? Good things start to happen. Your expectations create your reality. If you wake up expecting difficulties, you will find difficulties. If you wake up expecting opportunities, you will find opportunities. Not because the world changes, but because you change the way you see the world. You start paying attention to the good things. You start seeing possibilities where before you only saw problems. So change your expectations. Wake up tomorrow, and before doing anything, declare, today something good will happen to me. Today I will receive a pleasant surprise. Today money will flow to me in some way. And then pay attention. Observe. You will be surprised by what begins to appear. Prosperous men also had a very healthy relationship with time. They didn't live in a hurry, anxious, desperate for immediate results. They understood that everything has a time to mature. They planted today, knowing that the harvest would come tomorrow, or next month, or next year, and they were at peace with that. Anxiety is the enemy of prosperity. When you are anxious, you are in the energy of lack. You are saying, "I don't have it yet, I need to have it now, I'm desperate." And this energy repels what you want. But when you are calm, confident, knowing that what is yours will arrive in due time, you are in the energy of abundance, and this energy attracts. Take a deep breath now. Release the anxiety. Release the despair. Trust that everything is working in your favor. Trust that every correct thought you've had, every aligned action you've taken, is creating results. You may not see it yet, but it's happening. Beneath the ground, the roots are growing, and soon the tree will appear. There's a practice that rich men used to have, and you need to start now. They celebrated any money that came in, no matter the amount. If they received 1 real, they were grateful, as if they had received 1,000. If they found a coin, they were happy as if they had found a banknote, because they knew that it's not the amount that matters, it's the attitude of gratitude. When you celebrate every penny, you're telling the universe, "I recognize the value of this. I'm grateful for this. Send more." And more comes. But when you despise small amounts, when you think it's nothing, you're saying, "This doesn't matter. This has no value." And the universe understands that you're not ready to receive more. So the next time you receive any money, even if it's change from a purchase, be grateful, smile, feel joy. Treat that money as if it were a blessing, because it is. All the money that comes to you is a blessing. And the more you recognize this, the more blessings come your way. Prosperous men also had something that many people don't. They were generous. They didn't hoard everything out of fear. They gave, they helped, they shared. And the more they gave, the more they received. Because generosity is a declaration of abundance. When you give, you are saying, "I have so much that I can share." And the universe responds, "Since you have so much, I will give you more." This doesn't mean giving what you don't have. It doesn't mean going into debt to help others. It means giving within your means, with joy, without attachment. It can be a small amount for someone in need. It can be your time. It can be your knowledge. What matters is the energy with which you give. When you give from the heart, expecting nothing in return, you create a flow of abundance that returns multiplied. But pay attention. Don't give to receive. Don't give as a strategy. Give because you want to, because you can, because you are abundant. When you give with the intention of receiving, you negate the power of generosity. But when you give without expecting anything, you activate a universal law that causes you to receive in ways you can't even imagine. Now let's talk about something that bothers a lot of people, but is absolutely necessary. Wealthy men didn't surround themselves with negative people. They didn't waste time with people who constantly complained, who only talked about problems, who took pleasure in diminishing the dreams of others. They consciously chose who they spent their time with. Look at the people around you right now. How many of them talk about growth, about possibilities, about good things? And how many of them are constantly complaining, criticizing, doubting? You need to be honest with yourself. If you are surrounded by people with a scarcity mindset, you will absorb that energy. No matter how much you try to protect yourself, the energy of the people around you affects you. This doesn't mean abandoning everyone, but it does mean you need to start seeking new connections. Join groups that talk about prosperity. Follow people who inspire you to grow. Consume content that uplifts your mind. And little by little, you'll realize that negative people naturally drift away because your energies no longer match. Successful men also possessed discipline, not rigid discipline, but loving discipline. They didn't force themselves to do things they hated, but they also didn't give in to every impulse. They had self-control. They knew how to say no to immediate pleasure in favor of future results. And this ability to delay gratification is one of the most important characteristics of those who prosper. Every time you resist unnecessary spending, you are exercising discipline. Every time you choose to save, Instead of spending everything, you are exercising discipline. Every time you choose to study instead of just being distracted, you are exercising discipline. And each exercise in discipline strengthens your ability to create wealth. But don't be hard on yourself. If you slip up once, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. The important thing is to come back. The important thing is to keep going. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about doing the right thing most of the time. And when you make a mistake, you learn, you adjust, and you keep going. There's something rich men did every day that you can start doing now. They asked themselves powerful questions. Instead of asking themselves why they were so poor, they asked themselves how they could attract more money. Instead of asking themselves why nothing works out for them, they asked themselves what they could do differently today. The questions you ask direct your mind to find answers. If you ask bad questions, your mind will give you bad answers. If you ask why you're always broke, your mind will list all the reasons why you're broke, and that will leave you even more stuck. But if you ask how you can thrive, your mind starts searching for solutions, possibilities, paths. And little by little, the answers begin to appear. So change your questions. Instead of asking why, ask how. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the solution. Your mind is an incredible tool, but it can only give you what you ask for. Ask for better things, and you will receive better things. Prosperous men also had a beautiful characteristic. They were genuinely happy for the prosperity of others. They didn't pretend. They truly rejoiced when someone grew, when someone achieved, when someone prospered. Because they knew that one person's prosperity doesn't diminish another's. They knew there's room for everyone to shine. When you feel envy, you are in the energy of scarcity. You are saying, there's only enough for him, not for me. But when you feel genuine joy, you are in the energy of abundance. You are saying, there's enough for him, there's enough for me, there's enough for everyone. And this energy attracts more prosperity to you. So practice. The next time you see someone thriving, instead of feeling envious, feel joy. Give thanks for the proof that it's possible, and declare, if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. I will also prosper. This will completely change your energy. Now I want to talk about something very important. The importance of being specific about what you want. Rich men didn't have vague goals. They didn't say, I want to have money. They said, I want to have 10,000 reais in my account by the end of the year. They didn't say, I want a better life. They said exactly what kind of life they wanted. And this specificity gave their minds a clear target. When you are vague, your mind doesn't know where to go. It gets lost, without direction. But when you are specific, your mind knows exactly what to look for. It starts filtering information, paying attention to opportunities, and creating paths for you to get there. So do it now. Grab a piece of paper or your phone and write down exactly how much money you want to have. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to dream big. Write down the amount you truly desire. Then write down when you want to have that amount. And then write down what you will do with that money when you arrive. The more specific you are, the more powerful the goal. Successful men also understood that the energy you put into things matters. They didn't do anything haphazardly. They put intention, care, and excellence into everything they did, even the small things, because they knew that how you do the small things is how you do the great things. If you're careless with the little you have, you'll be careless with the much you have. If you don't take good care of small amounts of money, you won't take good care of large amounts. So start doing everything with more presence, more care, more intention. Take care of your things, organize your space, treat your money with respect, and observe how this elevates your energy. There's something rich men did that many people ignore. They rested their minds. They didn't live thinking about money 24 hours a day. They weren't obsessed. They thought, planned, acted, and then let go. They trusted. They knew that after you plant and nurture, you need to let the seed grow, and for that, you need to let go. Obsession is different from intention. Intention is about focusing, acting, and trusting. Obsession is about focusing, acting, and becoming anxious, desperate, constantly checking to see if you've made progress. And this anxiety hinders growth. So learn to let go. Learn to trust. Do your part, and let the universe do its part. Successful men were also masters at turning problems into opportunities. When something went wrong, they didn't panic. They didn't play the victim. They asked themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to my advantage? And always, they found a way to take something good from every situation. Life will present you with challenges. That's inevitable. But how you react to those challenges is what determines whether you will thrive or not. If you react with despair, anger, or victimhood, you dig yourself deeper. But if you react calmly, wisely, and creatively, you transform the challenge into a springboard. So the next time something goes wrong, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what can I learn here? How can this strengthen me? This change of perspective will transform your life. Now I want you to write in the comments, I turn challenges into opportunities. Because when you declare this, you are programming your mind to respond in this way. And the more you declare it, the more natural it becomes. Wealthy men also had a very interesting relationship with failure. They weren't afraid to fail. They knew that failure is part of the process. They knew that every mistake is a lesson, every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger. And so, they tried. They took risks. They weren't paralyzed by fear. Most people don't prosper because they're afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of losing. They're afraid of looking foolish, and that fear paralyzes them. But those who prosper understand that the only real mistake is not trying. It's standing still. It's letting life pass them by without doing anything. So they try, they fail, they learn, they adjust, and they try again. And in the end, they win. You need to have that same attitude. Stop being afraid of making mistakes. Stop worrying about what others will think. Try, act. Even if you make a mistake, you will learn. And each lesson takes you closer to prosperity. Successful men were also extremely conscious of their thoughts. They didn't let their minds wander unchecked. They paid attention to what they were thinking, and when they caught a negative thought, they cut it off immediately. They understood that the mind is like a garden, and you need to pull out the weeds for the flowers to grow. So monitor your mind, pay attention to your thoughts, and when you catch a thought of scarcity, fear, or doubt, stop. Recognize that it's just a thought, not a truth, and choose a better thought. This requires practice, but over time it becomes natural, and when it becomes natural, your life changes completely. There's something that rich men did that's incredibly powerful. They lived as if they had already achieved it, not in an arrogant way, but internally. They felt the gratitude of someone who already has. They felt the joy of someone who has already achieved. And this anticipatory feeling created the reality. You don't need to wait to have money to feel rich. You can feel rich now. You can feel gratitude, joy, freedom now. And when you feel now, you create now. Because feeling is the language the universe understands. It's not the words, it's what you feel that creates. So practice feeling. Every day, take a few minutes to feel what it would be like to have the life you desire. Don't just visualize it, but feel it. Feel the emotion, the joy, the peace. Let that feeling fill you completely. And then, carry that feeling with you throughout the day. It will change everything. Successful men also had something very special. They were grateful for challenges. They understood that each difficulty was preparing them for something greater. They understood that if life were easy all the time, they wouldn't grow. So they were thankful for the difficult moments, knowing that they were strengthening them. When you're going through a difficult time right now, it can be hard to see it that way. But try. Try to be grateful for the difficulty. Try to see what it's teaching you. Try to understand how it's preparing you for something better. And notice how this change of perspective brings peace in the midst of the storm. Now let's talk about something very practical. Wealthy men had a habit of reviewing their finances regularly. They didn't shy away from the numbers. They weren't afraid to face reality. They looked, evaluated, and adjusted. And this simple habit kept them in control. If you don't know exactly how much you earn, how much you spend, where your money is going, you're not in control. You're in the dark, and in the dark, you stumble. So turn on the light. Grab a notebook, a spreadsheet, an app, and start recording. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be conscious. When you know exactly where you are, you can plan where you want to go. When you know exactly how much you're spending, you can decide where to cut and where to invest. This financial awareness is the foundation of prosperity. Without it, you're just waiting for something good to happen. With it, you're actively creating your wealth. Prosperous men also understood the value of silence. They didn't go around telling everyone what they were doing, how much they were earning, or what they were planning. They kept their seeds to themselves so they could germinate in peace. Because there is something powerful in silence. There is something preserved when you don't expose everything. It doesn't mean you need to be secretive, but it does mean you don't need external validation all the time. You don't need everyone to know what you're doing. Work quietly, grow quietly, and let your results speak for themselves. This protects your energy and keeps you focused. There's something that wealthy men did every day that you need to start doing now. They spoke to themselves positively. They didn't constantly criticize themselves. They didn't belittle themselves. They encouraged themselves. They treated themselves as they would a dear friend. And this positive self-talk created a self-esteem that sustained their prosperity. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Do you criticize yourself? Do you insult yourself? Do you belittle yourself? If you do, you are undermining your own prosperity. Because you cannot build external wealth with internal poverty. You need to be rich on the inside first. So change your internal dialogue. Start treating yourself well. Start encouraging yourself. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, say, "It's okay, I learned. I'll do better next time." When you achieve something, instead of minimizing it, celebrate. Say, "I am capable. I am growing. I am thriving." This self-love is the foundation of everything. Successful men also had a very healthy relationship with fear. They didn't pretend they didn't feel fear. They felt it, acknowledged it, and acted on it anyway. They understood that courage is not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of fear. And this courage took them to places that fear would never allow. You will feel fear. Fear of not succeeding. Fear of losing. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. And it's okay to feel fear. The problem isn't fear itself. It's letting fear control you. It's letting fear decide for you. So feel the fear, acknowledge it, and act anyway. Every time you act despite fear, you grow. And all growth brings you closer to prosperity. We're now nearing the end of this learning journey, but I want to leave you with something very important. Everything you've learned here will only work if you apply it. Knowledge without action is just information, and information alone changes nothing. You need to act. Don't wait to be ready. Don't wait to have everything planned. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Choose one thing you learned here and apply it today. It could be making an affirmation. It could be visualizing your abundant life. It could be organizing your finances. It could be anything. But do something. Because every action, no matter how small, is a vote of confidence in your prosperous future. Every action says, "I believe, I deserve, I am building." And when you act consistently, the results are inevitable. The richest men did these things. They changed their minds, they changed their words, they changed their actions, and wealth was a natural consequence. You can do the same. You have everything you need within you. You just need to wake up to it. You just need to choose, and that choice is available now, at this very moment. So choose. Choose abundance instead of scarcity. Choose faith instead of fear. Choose action instead of paralysis. and watch your life transform in ways you never imagined possible. You're still here. And that already says a lot about you. It says you're not like most people who give up halfway through. It says there's something inside you that truly wants to change, that truly wants to prosper, that is truly willing to do whatever it takes to transform your financial life. And this commitment you're demonstrating now is exactly the kind of attitude that the richest men in history had. Let's delve even deeper, because there's a level of understanding about wealth that few people reach. Not because it's difficult, but because most give up before getting there. Most are content with the basics, with the surface. But not you. You're seeking more. And when you seek more, you receive more. Prosperous men understood something profound about the nature of reality. Everything is energy. Money is energy. Your thoughts are energy. Your words are energy. Your emotions are energy. And energy attracts similar energy. When you vibrate at the frequency of scarcity, you attract more scarcity. When you vibrate at the frequency of abundance, you attract more abundance. It's that simple. But here's the point that many people don't understand. You can't fake your frequency. You can't just say pretty words while your heart is full of doubt. You can't just visualize wealth while your mind is programmed for poverty. You need to truly change from the inside. You need to truly feel it. And that requires honesty with yourself. So I'm going to ask you a difficult question. Do you truly believe you can become rich? It's not what you want to be true. It's not what you expect to be true. It's what you believe deep down in your heart. If the answer is no, or if there's hesitation, you've just discovered the block that's preventing your prosperity. And now that you know, you can work to change it. Wealthy men worked on their deep-seated beliefs. They didn't just repeat superficial affirmations. They went to the root of limiting beliefs and uprooted them. They asked themselves, why do I believe I can't be rich? Where did this belief come from? Who taught me this? And then they questioned these beliefs until they completely dismantled them. Do this now. Take a limiting belief you have about money. It might be something like, I'm not good enough to be rich. Or, people in my family have never been rich, so I won't be either. Or money corrupts people. Take that belief and question it. Is it really true? Who said that? Is it a fact or just an opinion? When you start questioning your beliefs, they lose their power over you. And then you replace the old belief with a new one. Instead of, I'm not good enough, you choose, I am more than enough and I deserve all prosperity. Instead of, my family has never been rich, you choose, I am the first in my family to break the cycle of scarcity and create abundance. Instead of, money corrupts, you choose, money amplifies who I am, and I am a good person. This conscious replacement of beliefs changes everything. Successful men also understood the power of repetition. They knew that an affirmation made once changes nothing. But an affirmation made 1,000 times, 10,000 times, completely reprograms the mind. So they repeated it, every day, several times a day, without fail, until those words became absolute truth within them. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to repeat your affirmations every day, even when it seems like nothing is changing? Are you willing to continue, day after day, week after week, month after month, until your mind is completely reprogrammed? Because that's what separates those who get rich from those who remain poor. The willingness to do the inner work, even when it's boring, even when it seems like it's not working. There's something that wealthy men did that's extremely important. They took care of their health. They understood that to create wealth, you need energy, you need mental clarity, you need physical fitness. And all of that comes from taking good care of your body. They didn't neglect their health in the name of money. They knew that health and wealth go hand in hand. If you are exhausted, stressed, eating poorly, sleeping poorly, your mind cannot function at the level necessary to create prosperity. You get stuck in survival mode. You don't have the energy to think about abundance. You don't have the clarity to make good decisions. So take care of yourself. Eat better. Sleep enough. Move your body. This is not a waste of time. It's an investment in your ability to thrive. Prosperous men also had a very interesting practice. They gave thanks in advance. They gave thanks for money before it arrived. They gave thanks for opportunities before they appeared. They gave thanks for abundant life before physically experiencing it. And do you know why? Because anticipatory gratitude is faith in action. It's you saying, I know it's coming. I trust so much that I'm already giving thanks. Try this now. Close your eyes for a moment and give thanks for the money that is coming your way. Give thanks for the opportunity that will appear. Give thanks for the transformation that is happening in your life. Feel true gratitude, as if you have already received it. This feeling of anticipated gratitude creates a magnetic energy that accelerates the manifestation of what you desire. Now let's talk about something that might be uncomfortable, but is absolutely necessary. Wealthy men took full responsibility for their lives. They didn't blame anyone. They didn't blame the government, the economy, their parents, the past, or luck. They understood that as long as you blame something or someone, you are giving your power away. You are saying, I have no control, I am a victim, I can't do anything. But when you take full responsibility, you reclaim your power. You say, I created this situation with my past choices, and now I can create a different situation with my present choices. This isn't about guilt, it's about power. It's about putting yourself in the position of creator of your reality instead of victim of it. So stop blaming, stop complaining, stop playing the victim. Accept that you are where you are because of the choices you've made so far. And then decide that from now on, you will make different choices. Choices that lead to prosperity. That is true empowerment. Successful men also had a beautiful trait. They were patient with themselves. They didn't punish themselves for every mistake. They didn't give up when things didn't go perfectly. They allowed themselves to learn, to grow, to make mistakes and try again. They treated themselves with the same compassion they would treat a child learning to walk. You need to have that same compassion for yourself. You will make mistakes. You will have bad days. You will have moments of doubt. And that's okay. It's part of the process. The important thing is not to be perfect, but to be consistent. It's getting up every time you fall. It's continuing every time you want to give up. It's forgiving yourself and moving forward. Here's something that wealthy men did that's incredibly powerful. They created daily prosperity rituals. It wasn't complicated. It was simple, but done consistently. It could be waking up and making 3 affirmations. It could be visualizing for 5 minutes before bed. It could be writing a page of gratitude every morning. What mattered wasn't the ritual itself, but its daily repetition. These rituals created a mental structure. They created a sacred moment every day where you connected with your prosperity. And this daily connection, repeated without fail, reprogrammed the mind in a profound and permanent way. So create your ritual. Choose something simple that you can do every day without fail, and commit to it for at least 90 days. Prosperous men also understood that the energy of the environment matters. They didn't live in messy, dirty, disorganized spaces. They knew that the external environment reflects and influences the internal environment. So they took care of their spaces. They kept things organized, clean, and pleasant. And this care created an energy that sustained prosperity. Look at the environment where you live now. Is it organized? Is it clean? Is it pleasant? Or is it chaotic, dirty, heavy? If it's disorganized, start tidying up. Throw away what you no longer need. Clean, organize, create a space that you enjoy being in. Because when your environment is in order, your mind is also in order. And when your mind is in order, you can create prosperity. There's something that rich men did that many people don't. They invested in themselves. They didn't think it was a waste to spend money on a book that would teach them something new. They didn't think it was silly to invest in a course that would expand their knowledge. They understood that the best investment you can make is in yourself, in your growth, in your education. So stop thinking that investing in knowledge is an expense. It's an investment. It's you planting seeds in the most fertile ground that exists, which is your own mind. And those seeds will bear fruit for the rest of your life. So invest in yourself. Buy that book. Take that course. Watch that video that will teach you something new. Every reel invested in knowledge returns multiplied. Successful men also had a very interesting relationship with financial failure. When they lost money, they didn't despair. They didn't see themselves as failures. They saw it as a learning experience. They asked themselves, what is this loss teaching me? How can I use this to become wiser? And then they extracted the lesson and moved forward stronger. If you've lost money in the past, stop punishing yourself for it. Stop reliving that mistake in your mind. Extract the lesson, be grateful for the learning experience, and let go. That money is gone. But you're still here, and you can create more. In fact, you can create more now because you're wiser. So forgive yourself and move on. There's something that rich men did every day that seems simple but is transformative. They smiled. They cultivated joy. They didn't live grumpy, burdened, complaining lives. They understood that joy attracts good things. So even on difficult days, they found reasons to smile, to feel good, to have joy. Joy is a very high frequency. It's one of the most attractive frequencies there is. When you're joyful, you attract more reasons for joy. When you're burdened, you attract more burden. So cultivate joy. Find reasons to smile. Watch something funny. Listen to music that makes you happy. Dance. Play. Don't take everything so seriously. Life can be light, even while you're building your wealth. Prosperous men also had a powerful practice. They reviewed their day before going to sleep. They would take a few minutes and mentally review everything that had happened. And they did this in a specific way. They gave thanks for the good things, and they reimagined the bad things as they wished they had happened. This practice does two things. First, it reinforces gratitude. Second, it reprograms memory. When you reimagine something bad in a better way, your mind begins to store this new version, and little by little, you break negative patterns. So do it. Every night, before bed, review your day with gratitude and mentally correct what didn't go as you wanted. Now let's talk about something very profound. Wealthy men understood that money is only one aspect of wealth. They sought wealth in all areas. Wealth of health, wealth of relationships, wealth of knowledge, wealth of experiences. They didn't sacrifice everything in the name of money. They created a life rich in every sense. Because what good is having a lot of money if you're sick? What good is having a lot of money if you're lonely? What good is having a lot of money if you're unhappy? True prosperity is balance. It's about having money, yes, but also having health, love, peace, and joy. So while you work to prosper financially, don't neglect other areas of your life. Take care of everything. Because true wealth is abundance in all aspects. Prosperous men also had a characteristic that may seem contradictory. They were detached. They liked money. They worked to have money. But they didn't cling to it in an unhealthy way. They knew that money comes and goes, and they trusted in their ability to always create more. This healthy detachment created a lightness that allowed money to flow freely. Attachment stems from fear. When you cling to money, you're afraid of losing it, afraid of not having any more. And that fear blocks the flow. But when you trust that you can always create more, you relax. You use money wisely, but without fear. You invest, you spend, you donate, knowing that more can always come. And that trust creates the flow. There's something that wealthy men did that's very important. They honored their financial commitments. If they owed money, they paid it. If they promised something, they kept their promises. They understood that financial integrity is fundamental to prosperity. When you don't honor your word, when you shirk your responsibilities, you create an energy of dishonor that blocks abundance. So be a person of your word. If you owe money, pay it. Even if it's a small amount at a time, pay it. If you made a promise, keep it. This integrity creates a reputation, not only with others, but with yourself. You begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become capable of creating greater things. Prosperous men also had the habit of celebrating the victories of others as if they were their own. When someone grew, They were genuinely happy. When someone prospered, they celebrated. They felt no threat, no competition. They knew that the success of one inspires the success of all. And this generosity of spirit attracted more prosperity to them. So practice this. Every time you hear that someone has prospered, celebrate. Send a congratulatory message. Feel genuine joy, because when you celebrate others, you are saying to the universe, I love prosperity, I value prosperity, I want more prosperity, and more comes. Now, I want to talk about something that can completely change your financial game. Wealthy men understood the value of having a clear vision of the future. They didn't just live for today. They thought 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ahead. They asked themselves, what kind of life do I want to be living in 10 years? And then they worked backward, defining what they needed to do today to get there. This long-term vision completely changed day-to-day decisions. Because when you know where you want to go, it becomes easy to decide what to do now. It becomes easy to say no to things that distract you from your path. It becomes easy to say yes to things that lead you in the right direction. So define your vision. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Be specific, and then start living today in a way that takes you there. Prosperous men also had a very powerful practice. They surrounded themselves with symbols of prosperity, not to show off, but to keep their minds focused. It could be an image, a phrase, an object, something that every time they looked at it, reminded them of what they were building. These symbols acted as mental anchors, keeping their frequency high. You can do the same. Choose something that represents prosperity for you. It could be a picture of the house you want to live in. It could be the amount you want to have in your account written and stuck to the mirror. It could be a special stone you carry in your pocket. What matters is not the object itself, but the meaning you give it. Use this symbol to keep your mind focused on your prosperity. There's something that wealthy men did that is absolutely essential. They practiced active patience. They knew that results take time, but they didn't just sit around waiting. They acted every day, even when the results weren't yet visible. They trusted the process, but didn't use that as an excuse for inaction. They were patient with the timing, but active in execution. That's the key. You can't be anxious, demanding immediate results. But you also can't be passive, just waiting for things to happen. You need balance. Take action every day, do your part. And then trust that the universe is doing its part. This combination of action and trust is unbeatable. Prosperous men also understood that forgiveness is the release of energy. When you hold a grudge against someone, you are trapping energy that could be flowing to create abundance. When you blame yourself for the past, you are wasting energy that could be building the future. So they forgave, quickly, completely, and they moved on lightly. If there's someone you need to forgive, do it now. Not for that person, but for yourself. Because you deserve to be free. You deserve to have all your energy available to create your prosperity. So forgive, let go, free yourself, and feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Now we're reaching the final part of this journey, and I want to leave you with the most important truth of all. Everything you've learned here, all these principles, all these practices, only work if you believe. Not believe in me, believe in yourself. Believe that you are capable. Believe that you deserve it. Believe that you can. Because in the end, the only thing that truly matters is what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are capable of thriving, you will thrive. If you believe you deserve wealth, you will have wealth. If you believe you can create abundance, you will create abundance. Your belief is the key that opens all doors. So what do you choose to believe? Do you choose to believe in the old stories of scarcity, the old beliefs of limitation, the old identities of poverty? Or do you choose to believe in something new? Do you choose to believe that you are capable, that you deserve it, that you can do it? The choice is yours. It always has been. It always will be. The richest men have done these things. And the only difference between them and you is that they chose to believe. They chose to act. They chose to persist, and you can make the exact same choice now, at this moment. You can decide that from today, everything changes. You can decide that from now on, you are a prosperous person. You can decide that scarcity is over and abundance has begun. And when you truly make that decision, with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, the universe has no choice but to respond. So decide, choose, commit, and then act every day without fail. Until your prosperity is no longer a dream but your reality. Because you deserve it. You are capable, and you will succeed.